During 6 weeks old, the school holidays will be open.
It will be open.
Yeah.
What times? At a set time?
You sure? Can't hear very well, so
We'll
sorry.
not be opening because it's this one's field across here.
Is this
It's
field
never been
there's
open.
nothing
Oh, is it
going
not?
on?
No, it's never been open.
I've
no.
brought it before for it to be open, and we'll look into it. We've never looked into
I mean,
it.
it's used about 5 days a year for things going on. And that's it. It's a complete waste of time when children could be running about.
Yeah,
on
I think what it was originally, it was because of the football teams that were on there, and when it was open for public, people were going on with the dogs and dog fouling,
I
and then we
appreciate-
couldn't
yeah.
have the footballers there because all
Well,
the
my
dogs were
son
on.
plays for Balborough, and Balborough Country Park is exactly the same, and they have a lot more matches going off than these. On occasions they do have to move things, but it still is there for public to use, and it doesn't stop any football matches. They've got no way, even if it's set times at weekends and in holidays and not every day, children need somewhere to go that's safe. And it's just an area that's not used, that's wasted.
Yeah, well, we can probably try and put it to council next
Totally
time.
agree with you.
I brought this up time after time after time about that field. I even put in for a cycling track round Edge for kids to learn to ride the bike. Because they've got nowhere to ride the bike.
If you go up to Balborough, that's what they've done, because the trouble is with some age groups that then start at Heritage, they're too big to be playing on equipment near Ark, and up here, other parents and little ones quite rightly moan. It's for those bigger sort of boys that just want to kick about or run about. There's just nowhere.
It's just a problem.
Yeah, we'd have to look.
Insurance going into it.
Yes, it was the insurance. When I was
Yeah.
inquiring about it, it was all insurance.
Yeah.
But surely they can get around it
I think the
somehow.
other thing
I think
is,
as well, you see, we did have an application from the football team up at the Ark. I don't know was it Comets?
Well, they started wanting to here now.
They wanted to come in because of all the dog fouling up there. They couldn't, it took them 20 minutes to try and look at the field to try and get the dog
Yeah,
dirty.
I think we're penalising public and kids for saying to a few people with dogs.
I think we discussed this before, Chair, haven't we?
Yes,
Yeah.
We need to try and
we've
get,
brought it that many
try to get
times.
some supervised sessions up there.
I mean,
That's
I
what we need
live up
They
to
don't
there.
want supervised, they want to run free. That's
Well,
their
yeah,
running
Well,
free.
they need,
What I
why
mean
can't
is-
you find people for taking dogs on and generate income? It's
Yeah.
a win-win.
You've got to have somebody there
taking
to
the
do
dogs
it.
on. Even at football matches, they are still taking the dogs on. So you've not cured.
No.
But Shuttlewood and Bowlsover, Whitwall and
Oh
Clown,
no, but
they're all open. So why is
Yeah,
Clown?
Shuttlewood's got the across road from the school, is that the one you mean?
Yeah, that's open.
Yeah, they're all open. Bowlsover, they're all open.
Yeah,
All
it's a big
parks
park,
are
isn't it, with
Sure.
the swings and everything.
Sort this out. There's a lot of other questions.
Yeah.
I understand
Well, what
where the
we'll do-
lady's coming. Let me finish. Yeah. I understand where the lady's coming from, and I've got reservations. She's right in a way.
Just totally
So when
right.
we come back into full council, I will address the lady's problems.
No, it won't, it's not an agenda item.
I said I will address the lady's problems. I know it's no agenda
I can't
item.
bring in an item onto the agenda.
I know it didn't.
I can't talk
Any
about
other
it.
business?
You can have
No, there's no any other
Yeah.
business.
Alright.
Well, it can be, because if he writes it down, then
No,
it's
it's an
not
agenda item. Jimmy, surely you know
Anyway,
that.
carry on,
That's the
Margaret.
agenda.
Just to support this lady at the front, back to developments, these developments, they come in with young families, and she's right, there's absolutely nowhere for them to play. These young children grow up to teenagers that are hanging about on street corners already because there's nowhere for them to go. Instead of just building on every green field, it should be where there are recreational fields for not just a development on the south or the north, it's where they can all go, because there is absolutely nothing. There's no youth clubs, there's nothing for the children from, like this lady says, little ones, because the big kids are on the swings, but there's nowhere for big kids to go. They're congregating all round the street, they'll try to push each other through windows, because there's nothing for them to. And the more people that come by the developments, you're storing up a hell of a problem.
This one's for Councillor Smith as a district councillor. Can you tell me why there's no agenda on the Bolsover district website about the planning meeting on Wednesday?
I don't know. I got a clue.
That means we don't know what applications are being discussed.
All applications, as far as I know, on Bolsover District's website for planning.
Yeah, but there's no agenda for the June meeting. So therefore we don't know which ones will be coming up at the June meeting. For all we know, these 1,800 houses could be coming up
I
then.
don't know, but I'll find out for you tomorrow, because I wasn't aware of that.
Well, I can assure you there is nothing on the website.
Right.
So what's that count?
Okay, I'll check that out tomorrow for you, Mr. Blackwell.
Planning.
Can I just carry on to talk about similar things about the football field and places for kids to play? I just think it's a very, very unfriendly village towards young people, and well, everybody comes to that. There's no community areas, there's no seats in the village or anything for people just to sit and have a natter. It's everything's just very, very unfriendly.
Yeah.
At the minute. It really, really is.
I support that.
And it's not, it's just getting worse.
Yeah.
And the council.
You don't feel you belong. It's,
No.
you feel alienated against your own village.
You sit at the bus stop. I walked past the other day at the bus stop outside Tesco's, the most uncomfortable places to sit in. Whoever decided to put two roll bars, big thick roll bars, tilted forwards for people to sit on. If they thought that was comfortable, it is not. There's this poor old bloke there hanging on to it because he couldn't stand up. You know, you talk about a lot of older people. It's not all about the younger people. It's about from young to old, basically, and everybody in between.
Well, the thing is, it
terribly
just shows you
unfriendly.
what we've said, because there's council reading that, waiting to come in when we've all finished shouting, refused to put seats around the village because of antisocial behaviour.
just
Now
find
that
it
is
disgusting.
Julie, now is that not what we're saying?
If you get,
You know,
yeah,
there's nowhere for people.
it's like big football matches. You might get on probably 100 or even less than that cause it so much trouble for the rest of them. It's the same as the village. If you get a few little toe rats causing lots and lots of problems, that's unfortunate. Majority of people in town wouldn't abuse things, wouldn't break glasses,
No,
wouldn't
they
rip
wouldn't.
seats on. So you've got to start
It's just the minority.
as well too, to make it better and look at the majority, not the sort of minority that may or may not abuse property and spoil things.
Also,
Just a few facts for this, but the Garden Village, what they're supposed to do. From 1986 to 2017, Clown had 72 acres of development, employment, residential, commercial. With this new development, what's proposed to go ahead, there'll be 240 acres of developed residential, employment, commercial, which increases the traffic by 7,400 vehicle movements per day. Now, where's all that traffic going to go in? And we've had no response whatsoever from the parish council about this development. When we've asked about it, we've said it's nothing to do with us. Now, let's have some representation on Bolsover District Council about this development.
well, they stood outside
Chair.
waiting to come in, other than Jim.
I'll answer that one for you, Dave, because you've been coming to these parish council meetings for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And I have never, ever predetermined a planning application. That's why I get up and walk out.
Oh,
And-
they stood outside.
And if you remember, when we used to have all the people come from the south end of Clown over the developments up there and potential build for Ringavilla Farm, I wouldn't say anything. And I'm not going to say anything about the North development because I'm not going to preempt a planning application. And if yes, that gentleman there, Mr. Knight, ask him where I've been over these years with him sat aside when these planning meetings have been going off. He knows.
Yeah, but you're
Shouting
elected
people
to
for,
represent
excuse
us.
me, Chair, can we just calm me down a bit?
You're elected to
I'm
represent us.
not preempting it. It does
You are
get me.
elected to represent us.
Yeah,
You will
it,
want our votes.
Sorry?
When it comes to the election, you will, for you to be in your job, you will realise.
Yeah, of course.
We want you to represent us, that's what we're saying.
I will represent you at the district council, not in a parish council meeting. I have never in 20 odd years preempted a planning application. And I'm not going to start now.
I think it's time you nailed your colours to the mast, where we know
I
where.
can't. You say business and if the developer
She's
gets
asking for
hold
a
of
view of
it,
the
that we
council, not a
preempt it.
councillor. She's asking for a view of the council, not a councillor.
That's what.
How can you have a view of the council
Yeah.
if everybody's got different views?
Well, we do go to put it to vote, we have a
Well,
judge.
no, you can't.
You
No,
can't
you
do
can't
that.
do that. It's
Well, I do make take his views on any other subject.
because and so like for a parish council, it's very difficult when it comes to planning. You should know that, Ross, because what sort of emphasis have we got on planning? If Bolsover District
No,
or
No.
County Council decide they're going to do the planning,
We, as a council, have written noted on the planning application, we put more
Oh, it's
emphasis
coming
and
back in again,
comments
isn't it?
on other
You are
things.
representing us, the public.
Should be.
You should be representing us. So you should be able to get our feelings on the matter. And for a parish council to look at this planning application and just put down noted, that is a disgrace.
but now they've changed it again, haven't they?
Yeah.
Now, you can
going
take a
back
vote
in.
today or you can do anything that you want. You are representing us. And you should,
We're representing-
have our feelings. You don't represent yourselves, you
No.
represent us.
Chair, we're representing the parishioners of the town.
Yeah.
Now ask the parishioners what they think about it.
Yeah, and I should imagine, can I answer that? Chair?
Yeah.
I should imagine that they all think differently, and that's why it's difficult for the parish council to have one point of view that they support. Because everybody thinks different. Everybody in the village thinks different about different proposals. So you can't have one size fits all.
You've only got the objections.
There's over 1,000 objections gone in already.
Is there
Yeah.
any?
Now, how many other people in Clown even think about it? That's 1,000 out of 3,000 houses, 3,500 houses that we've got just now.
Do we think then that there's nobody, everybody's for that and nobody's supporting that?
Well, ask people what they think.
Well, we're in the middle of a consultation, that'll tell us one way or the other, and then we can
Yeah.
probably revisit it.
You know,
Well, not we're in, when I say we're in the middle of a consultation,
Mr. Blackwell, there's been no end of consultation over this last 2 years.
Yeah.
Mr. Knight and I have been to no end of them.
Yeah, but
And you
taking
know, he's
notice.
sat there, so he knows I'm not telling liars.
you're taking notice.
And, you know, the representation's been out there.
You're just taking notice, don't you?
Well, I can't do anything about that, David, can I? That's for the people to decide themselves.
That's what you're elected for.
No, it isn't.
Of course it is. Who said that? Am I the one who said that?
We're elected to represent the whole people.
Terry,
It's on the agenda tonight anyway.
So I'm going to close the paragraph.
Can I ask when Joe Smith and Sharon Gregory are allowed back in? It's been going on a long while now.
I can't talk about that here, Rose.
Well, will you bring it up amongst yourselves and that?
We already have done
Oh,
at a
very well.
meeting previously, so
Right. That's it then from me now.
It's not even
Everybody start voting.
I'll sign that. I've signed that one.
But we start roll play.
I'll make it cold and then I'll just winter's over.
No,
it in that direction.
You've done it, that's all right, that's brought something to this.
Yeah, next
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll now go into full council meeting. Just reminding there's no participation from the public. Thank you. Agenda 1. Apologies for absence. We've got Councillor Buxton and Councillor Page. Anybody sent any more in? That's it. Agenda 2. Confirmation that the attendance register has been signed.
It's been done.
As we wish the declaration of pecuniary interest in paying it.
Chair, on the notification of registered declaration of pecuniary interest, I put down that for planning, because I now sit on planning at Bolsover District Council. I intend to speak on that planning application.
Okay.
I am not going to give a way for or against it, but I've got concerns and I intend to speak for it.
That's
So I won't
fine.
be leaving the room. I will not, I hope it's recorded, I will not vote on it.
Item 4 on the agenda, notification of consideration of the suspension.
So that decision come to council?
No.
No.
My decision. It's my decision, Ross.
No, that's fine, okay.
Now, the council have got to grant a dispensation.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for dispensation. What I'm saying is, on notification of unregistered declarations of pecuniary interest, I have an interest in planning. because I
Yeah,
sit
and
on
you're not
planning
going to
committee.
sit, you're not going to go out of it, you're going
No,
to
I will speak.
You speak on planning.
On planning, but I will not take a vote.
I know,
Take
no.
part in the vote.
It's all right, yeah.
Yeah, it stands.
Yeah, sounds fine.
Going to file item 5, confirmation and signing of the minutes of the following council meetings. So we've got appendix 1, annual parish council meeting held on Monday 14th of May.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Chair. Through you, Chair, on 1518, which is in the exempt items, I did. Oh, that's I've got wrong. What's it? So, sorry, carry on.
No, carry on.
I've got another one.
Yeah, it's not on, is
Yeah.
it? Well, can we move the
Move it.
a seconder? All in favour? All against? Next one, appendix 2, annual parish meeting on the 14th of May. Anybody got any problems with the minutes from this one?
Did we not have a report of Clown Village plan and we were going to bring it back later? I think Carl said there was no information for the agenda item to go ahead. In the last council meeting.
This is parish meeting, though, this is annual parish meeting.
This is annual parish,
Yeah.
not council
Yeah.
meeting.
Never mover for those?
Chair, yeah, I'm moving, but technically the annual parish meetings minutes are approved at the next annual parish meeting.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
here. Same with the AGM.
Yeah.
So that's the draft.
So there was just a draft for notice.
Yeah, just draft the notice for next time.
Move be noted.
Yeah. Seconded. All in favour? We move and note it for next time. Thank you. All against? Now on to the proper council meeting. 14th of May,
Chair.
appendix 3.
Yeah, appendix 3 on 4218. I did not move that what is said in that paper. That was moved by Councillor Buxton, not by me. 4218. Just for accuracy, yeah.
I have
Oh,
checked,
yeah.
I have checked the minute book, my nose, and it was Councillor Buxton.
Yeah. Councillor Buxton. Second with Councillor Stanton.
With that amendment, Chair, I'll move it.
Yeah. All in favour? All against? on to item 6, proposed time and date of next council meeting.
Before you go on, how come you've got 9 for it and 2 against? When you're only 18 meeting? So I left the meeting at 8 o'clock. I wasn't in for this particular item.
Where's that?
So where's the 9-2 come from?
Oh, yeah. 9 to 11.
Sorry.
8:42.
Yeah.
Secretary, I left the
You
meeting
went
at 8
at 8
o'clock.
o'clock. You did, yeah. Moving on to item 6, proposed date and time of next meeting. So the next council meeting will be held on Monday the 2nd of July 2018 at the Community Centre, starting at 6:30 Provisioners Forum to 6:45.
Could I ask, before the next parish council meeting, either yourself or Stephen, check the fire regulations for this room, please? Because it's packed out now, and if there's a fire or something here, I'm not saying there is too many people, I just want to know what it legally says for fire regulations. I'll go and clean it, yeah. Don't worry about that, I'm just thinking about the public as well.
We'll be out at where I'll be gone.
Oh, the public will come and trample us to death.
You're dead round.
Am I within the right? Right, thank you.
Move on to item 7. Items referred from
Are they all right with that meeting?
standing committee, so on to joint.
I'll move that date, Chair.
Yeah. So I've got a seconder for the date. All in favour? So the next joint burial committee will be held on Monday the 18th of June at 6 p.m, which will be at the Community Centre. Item 8, reports to council from outside bodies.
Yeah, okay, thank you, if I stand up. Try not to stand with my back to anybody. So, from where we were last month, there's an update on the library's consultation. So, if you recall, if you were at the last meeting, we had about 2 days' notice of the consultation meeting. And it was really good that about a dozen people did turn up, but, you know, a lot more would have gone if there'd been more notice. So, after a lot of persuasion from myself, they've agreed to put another one on. And it's this Friday, the 8th of June, at 10, between 10 and 12. Now, they've come out with this excuse for a poster, and that's how small it is, where it says the venue and the time. So I've done a bit of creative IT work, and I've done that. So these are the ones that I'm going to be putting around the shop, so at least you've got a chance of seeing when it is. So
What time is it?
it's between 10 and 12 on Friday.
Yeah, people again, it's not.
I know, Ross, I've made that point. They only seem to want to run these things when the library's shut, which, you know,
It's more
again, begs
important
the
than everybody's at
question.
work.
Well, again, you know, I've done my best. We've
Yeah.
got another date. I did make the point that it excludes people who work, it excludes kids at school and students at college. But at least we've got another meeting. You know, imperfect as it is, at least we've got something. I've got some forms here. These are the forms that that they're handing out for people to fill in, or you can go online. So if you want to take one, you know, pass these around, by all means, take it away and fill it in.
No.
Yeah. There you go.
Got two on.
I can give them to the
Round on that side.
Surely you can do it online.
So that's that. There will be a debate at the county council meeting on Wednesday about it, but that won't change anything. That's just a chance to debate it. So it is important that people put their views in. They are getting a lot of objections to this across the county, but we just need people to keep saying, no, we don't agree with what you're doing. That's that. Secondly is there will be resurfacing North Road next week. We've finally got a date for that, so they'll be coming and doing that. I have asked that they come and do Recreation Close at the same time, because it would be silly not to, wouldn't it, while they're here? But I've not had a yes to that, but I'll keep pushing that one. For those of you that are interested in fracking, the Marsh Lane Eckington planning application will be that will be decided by a planning inquiry, and that will start on Tuesday the 19th of June, and it will be in the assembly rooms in Chesterfield, in the marketplace there. So that'll last several days, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes, and hopefully sense will prevail on that one. Yeah, planning inspector will decide. And then going back to the subject of Clown North, I can speak more freely than district councillors can, because I'm not party to the decision. It's a district decision, not a county one. And it's not a secret to know that I'm concerned about the highways implications of this, and the traffic, and additional traffic on the roads. And I'm feeding those views in. And I will be, when it comes to planning committee, I will go and speak on this, because I think it's very important that we don't end up with a situation that's worse than it is now. And there is a risk of that. And I understand that there was a change last week as well, such that everything will be dealt with under reserved matters, which means that nothing gets decided at this stage. It's all left very loose, which again is concerning me, because I think the more tightly you've got this nailed down at this stage, the better. Because I live every week I get complaints from people in Balborough about the Balborough Links development and the deficiencies that there are there with some of the road situations. So I don't want the same happening again here. So I am feeding those views in, and hopefully they'll get a good hearing at the planning committee. That's it, Chair, unless there's any questions.
Can I ask Alan? You know the traffic lights at the top?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're letting 4 cars through at a time. It's disgusting now. It is absolutely disgusting.
I'll ask them to have a look.
Traffic going up towards Crestwell, queuing up, and same on North Road. I've counted, there was letting 4 cars through. And there's a big gap in between, you know what I mean? When 4 cars have gone through, the others aren't going through and following, from the other side.
That'll be
so
to do
it's
with
the lights.
It's the phasing of it. Yeah, I'll get them to look at that.
Right, have we got anything from?
I'd like to ask Anne about, is it an highways and a footpath piece that Derbyshire County Council can get involved with? But now at the bottom of Station Hill, the knotweed, which is growing in the water, is now onto the pavement, halfway across the pavement, for about 10 metres from where the memorial is, back that way. The knotweed now is onto the pavement, growing over halfway across the pavement. So as it's onto the pavement, can Derbyshire County Council now get involved, because it's stopping people with children, people walking, they're having to walk on the road, and it's the knotweed. It either wants sorting out full stop or taking off at pavement.
Yeah, I'll report that in now. It's on public highway
Yeah,
now,
it is.
so I'll report that in.
It's
I mean, it
definitely-
is notoriously difficult. It's virtually indestructible, Japanese knotweed, but at least you can clear it back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll pass that back. So that's near.
That's where the memorial is, across from Old Biffa, where it's growing in the watercourse. It's now coming over onto the pavement, and it's 5 metres along the pavement, and it's halfway across the pavement. People are having to walk on the road where there's traffic coming down.
It sounds like it'll have to be a joint effort then, because the watercourse isn't
No,
Derbyshire's,
that's not
but
Derbyshire County
pavements
Council,
is,
but
so-
the pavements are,
okay.
yeah. So it's a joint one between Bolsover District Council and Derbyshire County Council.
Yeah.
Steve Chapman's dealing with that from our side of it.
Is it? Right.
We've got specialists in to look at it, so where they can try and get rid of it altogether.
Yeah.
But they're finding it very difficult. And they're going through Environment Agency to try and work out a plan on how to do it.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, any reports from Derbyshire Police? We haven't got any this month. Got any outside body, Bolsover District Council?
The only apart from the local plan and the plan application, the other one is HS2 is causing concern throughout the district, because although it doesn't hit Clown, it's only 2 mile away, so that's going to be a concern. There is a consultation date coming up in the next, have you had it, Steve?
Yeah,
For the HS2.
Got some information.
Yeah.
So that's just about all that's on happening.
Yeah. So any councillor is not allowed to ask a question to any of the Bolsover district councillors now? So, something that was brought
Well,
up.
it's not for questions, it's for reports.
Well, if a parishioner brings something to your attention on the day of a meeting and says, I've told her they'll not let me talk about it, but she asked me to ask it, and if I'm not going to be allowed to ask
She
it, then
needs to
that's it.
report it direct.
How come we can ask Stan questions and not district?
Technically, you shouldn't be asking any
No.
questions. It's
You
just
just
one
allow
council.
It's a report to council.
We just allow people to ask Anne questions while she's here.
We're not allowing Church of Bolsover.
People want to come to speak to me, they've got my phone number, they can meet us.
Right, let's move on.
But it ought to be reported to Bolsover
Item
District
9.
Council. That's the format.
Chair's report and Parishioners Forum actions. Is that anything? So Mill Street Wall and all
Yeah, on that chair, we, as you know, we submitted an application to the War Memorials Trust to see if they would fund two aspects. One is the insertion of those lead letters to match existing, with the initials MM at the side of two parishioners that died that won the military medal. And the other one was to do some improvement works to the drainage. The application, the last time I reported, was still being determined. I've had a response back and it wasn't successful. Effectively what they've said is there are a large volume of applications. It's a quarterly application process. The number of applications far exceeds the money available, and they have to do it on a priority basis. And unfortunately, our scheme was deemed to be a lower priority than some of the other war memorials that were submitted
So what we actually
for grant
going, So what we're going to do is look at funding the.
Well, I think the minute chair says that we
Yeah,
submit the
we submit
application.
it,
It
yeah.
comes back now for consideration.
Move that we do it.
Yeah.
Move that we get it done.
So just move that we get it done straight away.
I'll second that.
I'll second it.
Jim's done it.
So all in favour of that?
So all in favour, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Thank
we've
you.
got the HS2 phase.
Is that just for
M&M.
M&M?
Yeah.
Yeah, the military medal.
Yeah.
That's for those two parishioners initially.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. So we've got an HS2 that's come in.
Well, as you know, there's been, they've started an ongoing dialogue with key stakeholders and public, and we've had notification of a series of public information events for our leg of HS2, which I think our leg is West Midlands
Yeah.
to
And we've
Leeds.
got two meetings. We've got Saturday the 23rd of June, which is at Bainbridge Hall, Carvale, at Bolsover.
That's 12/5.
Yeah, 12/5. And then the next one is Friday the 6th of July, the Post Mill Centre, Market Street, South Normanton, 2 till 8. And that's the two nearest ones that we've got for our region.
We've had no influence over when and where they do these. They have come up with those, and I think they've picked those communities that are nearest to the route.
We've had no influence over the route.
No.
It's been done.
I've also started a dialogue with the consultation officer at the last meeting. I think you'll remember that we had a debate and a discussion about how the parish council makes representations and hears what the plans are. I'm still in dialogue with the consultation officer. I'm trying to pin him down to a date, but he's been on holiday, so all I'm saying is I've not been able to move that forward in terms of getting a date in the diary, but when I do, I will obviously let members know and make arrangements for you to attend and listen to what we've got to say and make any representations. Sorry.
Can the general public attend that?
No, they were just wanting councillors to go there out to start with, before, and then for us to supposedly to report back to
Councillor Reid said that they want us to sign some document.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that.
Yeah.
I think Councillor Burgess is right there, Chair. We have to be cautious with HS2 because at a district level and I think at the county level, they're asking for confidentiality agreements to be signed, and I don't think that that's the way forward. I think I would not expect this council to sign a confidentiality agreement whereby you go to a meeting with them, they'll tell us what's happening, but we can't come here and report it back to council.
Only what they want us to report.
We're just guessing, because this meeting hasn't even gone ahead, there's no agenda for it, we're just guessing what's happening.
No, Ross, I'm giving you some information that I've got.
Yeah, but you're guessing.
No, I'm not guessing. I know for a fact, Ross.
I think
that's
in a
what they're
sense,
doing.
HS2 as a big body, you would have thought that they would have come into the community and actually
Talk to
the parishioners and everybody, but they won't. They don't want to do that. They don't want confrontation, so they want councillors to go, to listen, to then report back to the public, which we think is wrong. They should actually come and speak to the parishioners themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's mad.
Rather than us
this
being
be the
having
first stage of communication, sorry, some sort of dialogue with HS2?
No, there's no dialogue. They don't want any dialogue with the public.
How do you know that?
Because we've already had it on a letter.
Well, I didn't see a letter.
Well, it came to council. It came to.
Well, and he said that we've got signed a confidentiality clause.
No, that's not what Karen said.
That's what you're guessing. So
No.
Right, moving on. Agenda 10. Correspondence received from the council for information. So we've got a DALC information circular.
Circulated.
10.2, Derbyshire County Council had a letter received from the partnership regarding car parking on Grass Verges, but if I'd like, there is a letter, I'd like to link that with the letter from 11.1.
Yeah. Do you want to deal with that now, or do you want to deal with that?
We'll do it in correspondence on item 11.
Yeah, no worries.
10.3, Bolsover District Council, forming the parish council that Bolsover District Council is consulting on their proposed new policies for taxi licensing. So, have we got anything that we can put out?
I mean, literally, Chair, what's on the agenda is what I've received.
Right.
There is an email link which I've put on the agenda, so public and members can put that into the search engine. It'll take you through to the consultation page, and I'm assuming it will tell you what the new policies are and what the changes are, and you can
possibly
be able to
then
make
they
comments.
could just ring up licensing and they'll...
Yeah, there is a deadline, Chair, Friday 6th of July, for any comments relating to this matter.
Okay. Moving on to item 11. So 11.1, we've got a letter from parishioner Joyce Betts. Dear Sir, Madam, Cavendish Drive in Clown is quite a pleasant area. The two grassed areas at the entrance of Cavendish Drive are kept well mown and looking very nice by the council. Clown in Bloom have 4 flower tubs there, and members spend an awful lot of time and money planting and looking after them, watering them twice a day in the summer. Many people compliment the group and members on how lovely they look, particularly through the summer months. Over the past couple of years, there have been a problem with people parking vehicles on it in order to sell their cars. This is not just one person. If this is allowed to continue, it is not going to be long before these beautiful green areas is used for parking of cars, not to mention the many highway maintenance vans and cable reels that are all over the village. Everyone will think they have right to park there. Then we could have travellers too. The green has been damaged in the past by drivers of cars for sale running on and off and making ruts in the grass. The grass cutters come around and have to go around the parked cars, thus leaving a messy, uncut bit. The green area is being used as a business and should be stopped by whatever means before it gets out of control. Would it not be possible to have bollards around it as they have on Elton Green? There is no incentive for people attending these tubs and plants to continue if these people are allowed to continue parking here. It would be appreciated if someone could look into this matter, as it would be a shame for this green to become a messy area. Yours faithfully, Joyce Betts.
Can we forward that letter on to Bolsover District Council?
Well, we've got a letter here from Bolsover Derbyshire County Council. This is, I refer to your letter dated 1st of February regarding your concerns over verge parking, particularly in South Normanton, and what action the authority intends to make. For a technical viewpoint, it is an offence for a vehicle to be driven elsewhere than on a roadway, and drivers may also be held liable for the damage caused to verges or footpaths or to underground services. However, much as I wish it otherwise, it is really practical for the police or for the county council as highways authority to pursue these aspects. The only physical solution would be either erect bollards or to replace the verge with an actual footpath. But I'm afraid that the provisions of bollards or a change of surface on an area-wide scale cannot be justified. So what they more or less, as they're going through it, the authority is currently looking at some small-scale verge hardenings in Shirebrook, blah, blah, blah. So they're saying it's illegal. So the only way we can sort of police it is to police it ourselves, and if they find that these cars are parked on council land, ring the council up and complain, and surely they're going to have to do something.
Why I asked you to send a letter from Mrs. Betts on to Bolsover District Council is because she's not only just complaining about just normal grass verges, she's also saying outside Cavendish, which is Bolsover District Council's land, and they cut it, and she's right, they're putting cars on there and putting them out. So it does want addressing, and then I'll take it up tomorrow to the Bolsover District Council. But they need a letter of a complaint, so it's logged.
And I think if somebody's got the car on there, then they ought to just ring Bolsover District and complain, and hopefully once it's logged, we should be able to get something done.
That's right.
We've got the same problem on Chester Drive. We've got new people come to the north of Chester Drive to live there, and they're parking their cars on the green areas, and we've got the same problem when they come to cut the grass. Say anything to them, oh well, I won't repeat.
Okay, now it's been brought to council and we all agree that it is wrong and it's illegal what they're doing.
It's not illegal.
Well, okay, then it's not illegal.
No, it's not illegal.
I'll accept. Well, what they're doing then is wrong. So can we not pass it on to the people that hand tickets out and all for parking offences? It's a parking offence then. It's not illegal, but it's a parking offence. So they shouldn't be parking them there, so let somebody go around and start slapping parking tickets on these vehicles, and then we'll see where we'll go from there.
Is it illegal or not?
I'm just looking.
I'm not sure. If you look under the, it is not an offence to park a motor vehicle, with the exception of an HGV on a grass verge.
But on here,
Unless it's caused obstruction. It's the enforcement issue.
it's the enforcement
It's not
bit.
illegal. We've changed, we've looked into it. It's not illegal to do it.
So my point is, can we start slapping some tickets? Get somebody to start slapping tickets on cars.
If it's not illegal, Chair, would it? We wouldn't be able to put, they wouldn't be able to put a ticket on with that.
Is it a park?
Well, it does say here, from Derbyshire County Council.
Can we have one person speaking?
It says from Derbyshire County Council, for a technical viewpoint, it is an offence for a vehicle to be driven elsewhere than on a roadway, and drivers may also be held liable for the damage caused to verges or footpaths or to underground services. So they're saying it is an offence. Technically, it is an offence.
Technically,
it's impossible.
But it's impossible to enforce.
I'm just...
That's an offence, we can enforce the penalty, can't we?
Yeah.
There should be the penalty to...
I'll tell you what I have seen, when I've been to the hospital and they've parked on the grass verge, the ticket officer has come out and slapped the tickets on them.
Exactly.
Because it's private land. Whereabouts then? Not in the hospital itself. If you go full out the hospital, over the other side where that lay-by is,
Yeah, I know.
and then they've gone up the lay-by, and when the lay-by's been full, they've parked on the grass verges at the top. And they have actually had parking tickets on there.
That would be enforcement officers. It's not the hospital.
No,
It's highways,
yes,
highways
that's right.
enforcement, which is
Yeah.
DCC. If you park, because we have a problem down on North Road, on Rotherham Road, where you've got double yellow lines, and then you've got the grass verge at the side, and then you've got the houses, and that bloke parks his car there and ends up getting tickets. Because if there's double yellow lines, you know, the grass verge, that is an offence, because the grass verge is still classified as the highway, so that's the issue. It is not an offence under the regulations to park on it. It is an offence to cause damage, it is an offence to cause an obstruction, but it's not an offence to park on it, other than if you're an HGV. And then it is an HGV.
But what happens then with those
Because they
people?
just said it's an offence to
No, that's not what it
put your
says.
car.
Chair, that's not what it says. That's not what it says, Councillor. It says it's an offence for a vehicle to be driven, which is slightly different to be parked on there.
Well, you're driving
It's a technicality, but
You're driving the vehicle.
that's not cars talking about parking and a parking offence. That's talking about driving on.
Well, like Mrs. Bates says, if we don't stop it now,
Yeah.
it's only going to get worse.
Right.
Alan, I'm not supporting it. I'm not supporting
we'll look
it.
into it
I'm just
further.
pointing out a technicality. I agree with
Yes,
what
move on.
Mrs. Betts
The
said.
matter is raised with Bolsover District Council and
Yeah, we'll move that his
enforcement
matter
to see what they
is raised
Need a
with
second.
Bolsover District Council. Can we have a seconder on that? All in favour?
Can we not ask Suzanne to monitor it?
Police, it's not a policing issue, Ross.
No.
It's parking is no longer a police issue.
Civil
Right,
matter.
moving on to 11.2 East Scarsdale Scouts. They've sent a letter in and to celebrate their 70th anniversary this year, they wanted to commemorate it as a free family fun day on 16th of September. And they're asking if they can use Villa Park Recreation Ground for the day from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. And they've also asked to use, they have also asked to use toilets.
Is that what you put 2 for 1 and if you put one on summer holidays, is that all?
Yeah.
I'm proposing it.
Councillor, Chair, can we not give them 2 for 1?
Football season started by then. Will we not be playing on there, Clark College?
Yeah, I've checked on that
Yeah,
day. They are not playing on that day.
Yeah, we've already checked that out. Yeah. So, who moved it?
I'll second it.
All in favour? Right, we're on to planning next.
Here we go.
I can't.
I'm going to move on to this.
We're going to have to have planners on there.
Somebody's got in 2 spaces.
So we've got a proposal for a conversion of integral garage to living space on Orange Birch Close, Clown. I suppose no objections as long as we've got off-street parking.
Parking into this.
The next one is for additional information in relationship to the outline planning with all matters reserved for mixed use development. So this is the to do with Clown North.
Yes, Chair.
Over to you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you. As I stated previously when I came into the meeting tonight, Chair.
Can we have order, please?
Right, I'm speaking on, I've got concerns about this application. The more it comes in, the more the alterations to it, the more concerns I've got. All right. I have looked at this application ongoing. I've been in consultation with the planners and with the developers, as would be expected as a district councillor that happens. My concerns is that from a wider district point of view, like Councillor Weston, the Treble Bog roundabout is an issue. And I would expect and hope that we talk to, or the district talk to Waystone through their planning department and try to address that problem at the first instant, rather than, as it states in their document, within 5 and 10 years. Okay? What the other issue is I've got, that's the wider district point of view. The more issue for me, from the parish point of view, is that they state in their traffic assessment that 20% of the traffic will move south to Clown from that development. That's 20% traffic coming up Station Road and coming down North Road. They've got nothing in their application that states that they're going to address that issue. As far as they're concerned, they get to the bottom of Station Road, put a roundabout in, that is it.
And then it's a free.
Yeah. The other concern I've got is on Cresswell Road, they were proposing a roundabout. They are now proposing a traffic lighting system. So you'll have 2 sets of traffic lights within 120 metres of each other. I know it happens throughout the country, and these things happen, but the capacity, so that's an issue. The school is another issue. I know that they seem to have got an agreement with Derbyshire County Council, whereby they may be able to build a school in the first place and then pay County Council the money over the term of the building. But if you read into the document, it actually states that they're prepared to give the County Council £30,000 a year to bus children out of our village to other schools. If you look at the developments around the district, i.e. Bolsover, Shirebrook, which is nearer to us than in most places, and Cresswell, Whitwell, those schools have got, those areas have got developments. Their schools have been near to capacity as well. So I would argue, and my concern is that they need to address the three things, which is connectivity, the education, and the wider road network, Chair. And I think that's it.
Can I ask a question? How come council like to sit there and showboat and tell everybody how he's against it, but as a parish council we can't even talk about it?
I'm talking to the meeting here, I'm talking to the
No,
application.
no, I'm wanting to know why.
It's not showboat, it's tone.
Well, he seems to change his mind from last time he had an opinion on meetings.
No, sorry, through you, Chair. Through you, Chair.
Just because there's an election coming up.
Let's
out of order, Ross.
I take it back, I do apologise.
Let's put it into perspective through you, Chair. All right? I've always supported, and I'm on record as saying, I support the emerging local plan. And Clown North is a strategic site. Let's divorce that from this application, because I'm now talking about an application that's come in, and I'm not happy with that application. All right? That's what I'm objecting to. That's what I'm not objecting to. That's why I've raised concerns. And if anybody listens, all right, instead of lives in a fog world, they'll understand that that's what I've done. All right? So, Councillor Walker can showboat behind me, play as much as he likes. That's the reality.
He's just got pulled up for saying that, so surely he should get pulled up for saying it again. Right. Bolsover District Council have brought this to our attention. On Station Hill, there is a group in this village that have got 2 signed contracts and have made a memorial on Station Hill, and Bolsover District Council now have got it in their planning application where it states link roads and whatnot. So surely, yeah, that's the roundabout I'm talking about. So surely, you can't just let Waystones walk into this village, put a planning application in to put a roundabout somewhere where a group has got 2 signed contracts to do something, and they're doing it and they've nearly finished it. Waystones want to walk into the village, demolish it or take it down and put a roundabout there, and that's my concern.
I've never supported Bolsover District Council's plan for Clown. Never. And I will not until somebody shows me a plan from them or the Derbyshire County Council that shows me what they're going to do with the infrastructure of this village. You can go to every consultation I've been to, and I've asked that question, and I might as well be on planet Zog. They will not tell you. And therefore, I don't support what happened in the south. They've ruined the south. These people here, I'll tell you, that on numerous occasions, I can count 8, where we sent in comments against what happened at the south. And what happened? Completely ignored, folks. Ignored. 8 times. Ignored. And if we do the same here, they'll ignore us again. Because Bolsover District Council, and McGregor in particular, and I'll name it, I've no time for it. They ignore what we say. Now then, I read this on Thursday. I immediately rang Councillor Daly as the chairman of the History Society, And we went to see the planner on Friday morning. And he was good enough to see us. We put our concerns to him about this. He told us straight. Yeah, we could very well make it a roundabout and you'll lose all we've done. All of you have put money into this.
Thank you.
It's a disgrace. Complete disgrace.
Thank you, thank you.
And I want support this northern development until I see that infrastructure plan. Because we will get nowhere. The south, sooner or later, I'm sorry to say this, folks, sooner or later, with what they've done, a bulldozer will have to be taken to this village somewhere. And that's going to cause other people problems. Because the roads are too narrow. And they'll get narrower.
Look, Eric, can I have the phone, please?
Yeah, right.
Cheers, it's obviously a very emotive subject. Can we, well, I'd like to propose that we have a public meeting with the councillors and invite the parishioners to come and tell us their views on the north, so we can represent them truly, instead of just putting noted, because I don't think noted is strong enough.
Just have that.
I'd like to propose that we have a public meeting.
Just had more than that from Council Reid. We're not just putting noted. Just had a perfectly good sort of
No, I'm asking for a public meeting so we can address the parishioners. I'm proposing that we have a public meeting where people can come and speak to the councillors and tell us what they think and what they need about this north development, and we can represent them properly.
And I'll
Seconded. I propose it seconded. I propose that we have it sometime soon, within the next 2 weeks.
Carol, can you keep quiet for a bit?
Excuse me. Can I have order? Have order.
I'm a member of council, I have the right to say.
Well, let somebody finish speaking first then.
Can we have order, please? Otherwise, I'll be asking you to leave. So
What? You need to check the planners before you set a date.
Yeah.
All right. If it's you're asking for planners to come in, you need to
I'm
check.
not asking for planners to come in. I'm not asking for planners to come in.
But
I'm
what
asking
can we
for
as a
us to have
parish
a meeting, invite the public to come and speak to councillors and tell them how they'd like us to represent them and their views on the north side development. Because as yet, that is the first time this council's mentioned anything other than noted.
I don't think you're right there, Ross, actually.
No, we've actually got it on paper that Councillor Reid
I propose that we have a meeting.
2 months
It's
ago.
been proposed and it's been seconded. Can we
Can we have a vote on it?
You can't vote next, you should be here anyway.
Can we have a vote on it?
So can we have, it's coming to that.
So it's in the next 2 weeks. Yeah.
Next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
That's
That's what I'm
not
voting.
voting against it.
We can't do it in the next 2 weeks because we've got
It's
two
not feasible,
councillors away for 2 weeks.
Only
They're
that
not
don't
here.
vote.
We're not going to get people.
Pardon?
Don't vote anyway, he says.
That's my personal opinion.
Well, sorry Ross, but you're out of order.
All right, I'll take that back again. Sorry, do apologise.
I think you're just being a bit silly now. I think we'll have a move and a seconder, so all in favour, but not of having the meeting in 2 weeks. We need to have more councillors available for this meeting.
3
Can I
weeks.
just say something to you? You probably don't know it, but Natalie Hoy has posted a letter that she's sent from the Clown Action Group, which is making specific allegations against certain people at the Ark regarding the way they've been consulting with Waystone. Now, I don't know whether there's any truth in that. I don't know. All I can say is that that letter has gone to Bolsover District Council and the County Council. If you want to look at it, it's on Clown Action Group Facebook today. And it's making serious allegations about certain persons. So I'll leave it with you. That is ongoing.
Moving or a second,
Right, so,
we have a public consultation meeting
Yeah.
3 weeks.
within 3 weeks.
I think just to be organised, not.
I think time's slipping. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Move it
So
before.
move and second it, all in favour?
Move it before next meeting.
Move it before next meeting.
No, I want it
I
now.
said before.
Within
I
3
want
weeks
it
it's been
now.
moved.
3 weeks.
I want it now.
Yeah,
Done.
all in favour?
All in favour?
All against?
I'm abstaining.
Abstaining? So,
Anybody against?
anybody against?
Got 3, 4.
All for it?
So, just saying, who's, what's voted on that?
Yeah, so we'll go in.
Does that?
We'll go in 3 weeks. 3 weeks time.
I'll do it.
So, anything?
So I'll do it as like 21 days from today.
Yeah.
Not today, because
We'll do it next
we'll sort a
3
date out and we'll put it out.
Yeah, so it's going to be within the next 3 weeks though, that works.
Around about 3 weeks, yeah.
Within 3 weeks, within 3
That's
weeks.
what I've recorded.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it.
So we're now on application
Application proposed change of use for A1 shop. Previously the chemist into a sui generis use as a sunbed iron.
Parking, because you can't park in Town Road's car park because it all gets took up with business people. So if that becomes a sunbed place, where's everybody going to park? It's a parking.
It's already started. It's retrospective. It's not available.
Well, if it's already started, we're going to have a bigger problem with Main Street.
I think that's the issue. I think they've already started.
Just put parking and
So, concerns about customer parking.
I think it's sunbed iron, it says, so it's not.
no, it's actually sunbed centre.
Is it sunbed shop
Yeah,
where you
you
in?
pay for a session. So, are we all in favour on that one? Yeah.
Right, moving on. You can get the.
These are just for information.
Yeah, no, just for information, so we didn't need to go through those, we've already gone through those. Can we have the 2 councillors back in, please, and can you please be quiet in the public while we're in council? Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, why not? And one little crazy.
The papers and the pens. The pens there.
Pass it down already.
Thank you.
We're on item 13.
Item 13, review of council budget plan 2018 and
Just pass these out to you. You got one already? Yeah, you got there. You got it already.
There we go.
Thank you.
Just pass those
I can keep this camera.
Yeah. This is a schedule of payments, Chair, for this month that requires approval. There's not that many this month, actually. As you can remember, last month we had loads, and it just sometimes works like that.
Move that they council.
What's now planned? What was that for?
Topsoil for graves and some remedial works up at the cemetery.
Right. What remedial work did they do?
Topping of graves. Right. Obviously they've got some graves that need topsoiling and turfing. We've had it moved by Councillor Reid. We need a second.
Just a second.
Question.
No.
That's not on there. I haven't received it yet.
Tim and Wilson already done the next set of graves out there?
No, this is for reopening and closing of of existing graves and ashes plots.
Right.
See, there's two aspects to the grave digging contract.
Right, can I have a-
Remember.
I've moved it, Chair.
We've got a-
Yeah. Can I seconder? All in favour?
Who was seconder, sorry? Councillor Stanton.
All in favour? All against?
We've got two signing it. We've got
So
signed.
you worked out very good, Stephen.
You what, sorry? I just need to, yeah, I need it signing by any of the authorised signatories, so that's Councillor Connaughton, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Councillor Reid, Councillor Smith or Councillor Stanton.
That squeeze you in just a second, either way. Thank you. That's fine, bring that a bit. Just a bit more if you can. That's it, that's fine. So we need to go up the clock, guys, please. Approved by council.
Yeah,
I've got three of us who've got to sign it.
yeah.
Are we going on?
If you can just sign, all sign the same
Same
one.
one. Same one.
And then let me do that and then I'll process it.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the public for coming and I'd like to now close the parish council meeting. And we'll see you again in July. Thank you.